It's your time to shine with Presenter Search on 3 and Orbit Gum.
It's the semi-final with 5 contestants still in the running. Deen Woodman, Jamie Lee Domberg, Nathaneal Davids, Kuhle Adams and Thato Moshweshwe.
Good evening and welcome to Presenter Search on 3, the Expresso edition. My name is Tabiso Makubela and you may be wondering why my handsome face is on your screens tonight. Well, last year my life was changed forever when I won Presenter Search on 3, earning myself a place on the Expresso morning show. So tonight I am your guest host as the top 5 contestants take on their last challenge before the grand finale. Judges, what a journey it's been. We're nearing the end. You've had your work cut out for you.
It's been tough, but it's been exciting. And it's great to unearth new talent, isn't it, Precious?
Yeah, it's an excellent opportunity and we're looking forward to welcoming 2 of you to the Expresso Morning Show and to building 2 magnificent new careers.
Right, and also building relationships. I went home, my wife wouldn't talk to me after last week's elimination. It's because we're so invested in, we're building these relationships with you guys, and it really sucks that we have to,
Yeah, it gets tougher and tougher each week, doesn't it?
Really is getting tough, yeah.
Oh, it gets quite tense. Well, tonight is the last chance for our top 5 to impress the judges before next week's grand finale. Now, for this challenge, contestants were given one more time to shine in the Kingdom of Eswatini by presenting their own solo travel segment. Now, besides showcasing their individual personalities, for the first time in the competition, they were also required to record voiceovers to bring the story to life. And to make things even tougher, their recording session was directed by Patience Stevens herself. No pressure, guys, no pressure.
Thanks for doing the voiceovers with me last night. What was so important about that is that I needed to work with you one-on-one so I could see exactly whether or not you could take direction, if you could hear what I was asking you to do, and if you could then do it. So that was a vital sort of communication between me and each of you. Voiceovers are really important and you can actually make a career as a voiceover artist, not just a presenter.
Sure, totally. Well, it's almost like a craft in its own.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And a huge part of the extra added value of the show and the overall aesthetic and effect is in a great delivery of a voiceover. So it's stressful stuff.
Well, first up, Deen is given the chance to explore the natural beauty of Eswatini at the kingdom's oldest wildlife sanctuary.
I see I'm going to be doing Kuhle trails, and I read up on this place and I'm excited because that's horse riding, that's going to be something dope. I'm going to be able to do some adventure stuff here and I'm keen. But as I start thinking about this a little bit more, I'm not going to interview and horse ride at the same time.
If there's one thing you have to do when visiting the Kingdom of Eswatini is to take in the country's natural beauty. And what better way to do that than visiting Ngwenya, the oldest wildlife sanctuary in the country. Today I get to do that from a somewhat elevated point of view. In 1961, Leigh-Anne was proclaimed a protected,
You know when you go in and you do a marketing pitch?
Yes.
You know the energy and the enthusiasm that you have when you're doing your pitch?
Yes.
You must get that now in the voiceover. Okay.
Let me take this off.
I'm in the booth, there's a mic, you've got headphones on, you're actually hearing yourself in your own ears, and it's struggling, eh? I mean, I'm trying to get these lines, but it's difficult.
Kuhle Trails offers visitors the chance to explore this landscape on horseback.
Flex and smile, flex and smile.
I keep on forgetting this
Yeah.
one. You've got to smile, you've got to be very dramatic with your body movements because that's how you get your voice across. And I'd realize they don't see you, but they got to hear you.
Yeah, that was fine.
Go!
Ooh. Now that I've mounted a horse, I hope I don't accidentally dismount this horse.
Ooh.
Okay? Hey, I want to take my horse to the old town road.
As you enter the park, you're welcomed by a graveyard of snares. Thousands of these traps were placed around the sanctuary to cruelly catch animals that inhabit this region. Today, the wildlife flourishes thanks to the conservation efforts of the brave men and women that run the park.
Maja, this place is beautiful, man. On the sanctuary itself, how many animals do we have here, or what type of animals do we have here?
We have a lot of different antelopes.
Sun is beating down. We are now inside the sanctuary and I get the chance to start interviewing Maja. The great thing about it is I start feeling like myself. I'm starting to have a conversation. Certain questions that I didn't even think of are popping into my head because I'm looking around, I'm looking at the landscape. I mean, you're seeing warthogs just a mere meter away from you, you know, and then you've got antelope and kudu, and we start having a great conversation, and this is when I realize this is me. this is what I do. You know, I talk to people and I get to be one with people, and then it starts feeling real.
I've noticed droppings besides bravados and tesavos. What are those droppings? Whose are they?
These droppings is from the Blessbook.
But it's all in one pile, mate. It's like they come back to the same spot every day.
It's marking his territorial so that it will smell him. And then if the other bull come, they'll get the smell and then they'll run away.
So literally what you're trying to tell me is each one of them's got their own little plot on Mililwane.
Yes.
Conversation with Madja is going great, right? But every now and again, you've got to slow it down, because what the viewer doesn't see is you've got an entire crew on foot filming this, and literally not walking, but running to keep up with these horses, even though they are at a small trot. And that's intense, man.
Yeah. Stop, please. Stop for a moment, please.
At that very moment, I stopped chatting to Madja and I looked at the guys and I was like, geez, you oaks are in this, eh?
Wow.
The landscape is beautiful. I mean, it's almost like picture perfect, right? And then you see this dam, and so the first thing in your mind is, oof, a nice cool dip in a river that's flowing, right? Not in this wildlife sanctuary. Literally, there are crocodiles roaming freely, just milling along, doing his thing. Yeah, not gonna take a dip here, brother. We're heading back in. It's been a long ride, but a beautiful one. But man, am I starting to feel the pain. And so I know that I want to get this closing link and get it off once. So I figured, you know what? The audience needs to know I'm in pain. They need to know everything, and this is what I'm going to do. I dismount, and my leg feels like 10 tons. And as I get off, I literally deliver that closing link with genuine, excruciating pain.
Oh, come and say thank you to your horse.
Thank you, Stavo.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well
Jack,
done.
Madja,
Well done.
this was amazing, but let me tell you something. The Kingdom of Eswatini gives you serenity and calmness without a shadow of a doubt, and I was amazed by what I saw today at Mililwane. But my legs, my man, they do not have no peace and no serenity right now.
You'll be okay.
Make sure you practice before you get on that horse. Thanks, Madja. Thanks, Stavo. Love you.
I saw everyone else's challenge. I think I got the better challenge, but the more complex challenge. So I like the fact that I got a challenge that not only challenged me in my own natural form, but it also challenged me in terms of bringing the beauty of Eswatini and that wildlife sanctuary to the viewers at home.
Deen, we can almost feel your pain through the screen, but judges, what are your thoughts?
So, Deen, very interesting, the guy who's been killing all the inserts, and you did say this is like you felt like you got lucky with one of the best inserts. And yes, it was a great looking insert. Now, you're in a situation which I found quite interesting to watch, where I felt you were quite restrained. For somebody who's very physical, you've done surfing, you've done all these different challenges, but now you were in a situation where you couldn't move and you excelled in things you're really great at. So you can create content out of just simply having a conversation with somebody, which you did fantastically, I think for like 30 or 40 minutes. And then it actually just turned into content. The problem with these inserts, as you're going to hear and Patience is going to explain, is we're not just judging you on the insert, but there was a lot of behind the scene work that had to be done. And cue voiceover.
Yeah. So Deen, you go to gym. So you're very fit and you're strong. But your vocal cords are also a muscle. And you have to work on your vocal cords. So when we were sitting in the voiceover booth and I said, flex and smile, I needed that smile to come through in your voice, and it didn't. Your voice isn't strong enough. And if you were to go through in this competition, you would have to do a lot of work on your voice muscle, not just your body, the muscle that is your voice, because you communicate with your voice.
So how a segment like that comes together is with a voice. You bring it to life and you sort of paint a picture. And we could see it in your diary sessions, how you painted how beautiful the scenery was. And you meant it. And it's in reading that with heart, so that I, who's watching and listening, believe what you're saying. And you're able to do it in real life. It's just finding a way to do it even in your voiceover as if it's your own words.
Got you.
What's in a voice? Hey, Deen? Well, 4 more contestants show off their stuff in part 2 of the Eswatini Travel Challenge. Who are you rooting for? That's the question we want to find out. Let us know on social media with the hashtag #PresenterSearch on3. We'll see you after this.
Great talent, great coffee. Simple. See you after the break.
Welcome back to it. It is Presenter Search on 3, the Espresso edition, right here on SABC3. Now, tonight, our top 5 contestants are given the opportunity to present their own travel segment in the Kingdom of Eswatini. Next up, Kuhle learns the art of hand-woven fabrics the traditional way.
I've seen what the other contestants are doing for this challenge, and I'm really glad that I got Tsandza Handweaving. I'm not really sure what to expect, but I can assume that it's all about fashion, clothing. It's really in my alley, so I'm really excited about it. From the outside, it looks like a very old warehouse. I'm very confused as to where the action is happening. But when you walk into this open space full of these women behind these olden age machines. We decided to do the opening link in front of the factory in this little boutique store with all these beautiful scarves hanging from the ceiling because it adds depth to the shot, and also I get to play with the fabric and it adds a very special element to it. I am currently in my happy place, surrounded by luxurious fabrics and beautiful designs, but these are no ordinary garments. Each one is made with love here at Tsandza Handweaving in Eswatini. Since 1979, this workshop has produced high-quality, hand-woven fashion and deco products, all made from natural fibers using traditional methods. Hi. Hi, Kerry.
Hi.
How are you?
Good. Nice to meet you.
This is a very interesting workshop, and I want to know what it's all about.
We are a hand weaving organisation, so an artisan business, and it's all around empowering rural women with skills and the ability to generate an income.
Initially, I had prepared questions talking about fashion and everything fashion, in fact, and then I realized that the core cause for this business is all about sustainability and the women. So I just decided, you know what, I think it's a good idea to focus on that rather than the fashion side of it. I see everything here is manually operated. Is that a conscious decision to remain sustainable?
Absolutely. A part of our ethos is around ethical production and finding some balance with the environment, combined with working and providing an opportunity for work.
We're at the back where they dye the fiber, and now there's so much smoke coming into my eyes. My eyes are watering, the director's eyes are watering. I'm going to try my best not to cry. And the entire crew's eyes are watering. Now we're all crying like we just finished watching Titanic. It's a mess, and I just can't wait to go inside and start working with the machines. Please show me how and where it's done.
Absolutely.
Let's go. I came here in my wages thinking I'm going to be talking about all things fashion. Little did I know that I'm actually going to be using my feet to be working this small machine. So I just decided, you know what, let me just add it to the entire experience and take off my shoes and play with the camera a little bit. But it looks like I'm not wearing the right shoes. But that ain't no problem, we're going to put them to the side. Okay. Magdalene, one of the master artisans at the workshop, has been practicing her trade for more than 30 years. This is not merely a skill, this is an art form. I keep focusing on my foot and I'm not watching the wheel, whether or not it's going clockwise or anti-clockwise, which direction is made to go. But one thing I know is that I'm messing the insert up, I'm messing Umama Magdalene's fibers here at the same time because they keep on tangling up because it keeps on reversing back. And I just hope you can just see that I'm trying my best here. I thought this wheel was difficult enough. Now I'm sitting behind this giant loom with so many strings hanging, looking like a grand piano, and I'm just like, here we go again. Oh, I'm gonna press now, like this. Pull it. I don't wanna break it. As I this thing up, she's just looking at me like, girl, you better get this right.
No, this way. This way.
Okay. That was a good one. But then, viewers forget that you have to get multiple takes of the same thing. So I was probably doing that thing for about 30 minutes. Oh, that was amazing. This entire experience made me appreciate fashion even more. Tsandza Handweaving truly encompasses the spirit of Eswatini. It is all about love, respect, and making a difference in the local community. Plus, their scarves are to die for. I've done voiceovers before, but not at this level. But in the end, I think I nailed it.
Since 1979, this rural workshop has produced high quality.
The rural, you're sort of, do you have a problem with R's?
I kind of do.
That's funny. Okay, so I can immediately hear that. You're not saying rural.
All right, should I do it again?
Yes, please.
Okay.
We'll do it again until it's perfect.
Hand-woven fashion and deco products, all made from natural fibers using traditional methods.
Great. That was perfect.
Thank you.
So I just really hope that it was enough to get through to the next episode, which is the finale, which is one step away from, you know, being crowned an espresso presenter.
Phew, it looks like you need a driver's license to operate that machine, but judges, did Kuhle drive this one home?
Hey, Kuhle. Now we're going to talk. So we've been banging on about voiceovers. Incidentally, in your insert, I paid special attention to your voiceover projection. Everything you were outstanding, was excellent. Again, you might find this a little nitpicky. We're at the stage in the competition where we've got to be really critical. If there was any negative bits I could find, and I don't want to get into long-winded debates about the BCCSA, but I think choice of words sometimes outside of the booth when you were doing your diaries, or maybe when you're talking to a guest.
Bad word.
So you said
you can't say it's bad word.
I think that's you sometimes want to come across a little eloquent and a little bit more refined. But I mean, I really am nitpicking here. Again, I think you probably because you were doing the
You were wonderful in your voiceover. So you know that same bubbly warmth and love which comes across from you on screen? We heard that in your voice. You got that exactly right. I said, I want to hear the smile on your face and your voice, and you did that.
Also, your interaction with your guests is incredible. It feels authentic, you have beautiful conversations, and yes, your voiceover was on point.
Positive comments there, Kuhle. Well, up next, Thato tries his hand at the ancient art of glass blowing at one of the country's most popular tourist destinations. Check this out.
This is my final challenge before the finals, and it's another great chance for me to redeem myself because I messed up my previous challenge and I was in the bottom 3. So I have a chance and I have to make it count. So I'm really excited, a bit nervous, but cannot wait to see how it all unfolds.
The art of glass blowing has made Ngwenya Glass to be the hottest tourist attraction here in Eswatini, recycling what usually ends up in the dump site into beautiful works of art. I cannot wait to get blown away. Ngwenya Glass was a project started by the Swedish government after building a factory in Eswatini. Can I stand up?
You can stand up. That's a good idea. Stand up. Whatever gives you the best delivery.
As much as I'm trying to take in the instructions, but I seem not to be understanding what is required of me. So we end up having so many takes. But standing up, didn't help.
So don't drop it. Give yourself those breaths. Strong projection with your voice.
After building a factory in Eswatini, they imported skills and machinery to teach the local people the age-old art of glass blowing.
I've done my research and I am here now. Everything I saw on the website, it looks very familiar and I'm very comfortable with the environment as well. So if I take directions and just be calm, I should be good to go.
You are running a very sustainable business.
Yeah.
How do you ensure that you keep as low of an impact on the environment as possible?
The furnace that we use here is run using oil.
Okay.
We use old oil from cars, and we also use cooking oil from restaurants.
Sure. I can already pick up that our energies are on 2 different levels. I happen to this really hype guy who's there, and as for him, he's really down to earth. Crossing my fingers, he won't give me like a one straight answer. You know, I'm asking a question and then he's just like, yes, no. And I mean, you've trained over 60 people here.
Yeah.
So do you mind showing me how to blow some glasses?
No, I don't mind at all. You can come with me inside the workshop to go and try.
Okay, no problems. Let's go blow some glasses because I heard the glass is greener on the other side.
Okay, let's go.
With their sustainable approach, all the glassware produced at Ngwenya is handmade using nothing but recycled glass, collected and sold to the factory by locals.
I have no choice but to ask Busiso to please reduce the sound, even if it's just for 5 minutes, so that we can try and get content. And he says, okay, I can give you just 5 minutes, which puts a little bit of pressure on me because this means I have to interact with the camera, bring the viewers in 5 minutes. Sure. It's going to be a tough one. I can feel the heat of the furnace. It's really hot. Yo, the heat of the furnace. I really thought I was going to be able to withstand this one. But now that I'm here and with everybody moving around, you always want to make sure that you're also safe, you know, you don't burn. It's a crazy environment, but at the same time, I'm loving the energy.
Okay, why is it necessary to get it in a round shape? So that whatever you do is even.
I tried my best to bring the viewers in, and it's always a trick when you have to interact with the camera.
The blowing of vuvuzela during the FIFA World Cup had prepared me for this one, so I'm ready. Let's do this.
I had to be very strategic about it, so that's one thing that I've learned, and I think I did that perfectly.
Blow it just a little bit. Okay. Blow again.
I've just survived from burning my hands. Now I'm crossing fingers I don't have to bend my lips as well. What if the pipe is hot? Sure.
That's
blow,
a bit too
blow,
much.
blow. Blow as much as you can. Blow as much as you can. Blow as much as you can.
I see my finished product, this giant bubble of glass. I'm running out of air. I'm really proud of myself. Even if maybe this doesn't work out, I'm pretty sure I can get a job there.
This really reminds me of when I was a child. I used to blow some bubbles, so I feel tempted to pop it up, but then I know it's going to be pretty hot for me.
Yeah.
Tato's a really good kid. However, his inexperience does show. He tends to fumble a lot and overthink things a little bit.
It's definitely incredible. This, okay, sorry, can I please do it again? You see, blowing bubbles is definitely easier than blowing,
However, he does show the potential to be a really good presenter one day, and if he hones his skills, he'll have a long future here.
You see, blowing bubbles is definitely easier than blowing glass. However, what Ngwenya Factory does for this entire community is incredible. This will definitely be a feel-good story worth telling when I get back to South Africa.
Patung Thato, that's definitely one bubble you don't want to pop. But judges, your feedback.
Sure, Thato, I mean, from the very beginning, I've loved how personable you are. You come across as a very nice person. We could see in that insert how you were trying to make it work. You were engaging with the viewers. You did everything right. We literally couldn't find anything to fault you on. However, we are at the stage of the competition where we start looking at other things. And for me, I don't know how the other judges feel, but for me, it's a thing of time. I don't know if it's, I think you're brilliant. And you know, I've thought you were brilliant from the very beginning. But I don't think, for me, I don't know, I question time. I question time just based on maturity and type of the show if I look at the other contestants that you're up against.
Just for my 2 cents worth, I know last week I was kind of a bit of a savage and we gave you a lot of criticism, and for what it's worth, it was really like enduring to see how you really are trying to take the little bits of criticism that we've given you, and you know, you've even admitted it, and it was humbling, and I had a lot of respect for that, man. That was cool.
I love the way you played on the word glass and how you compared that glass-blowing tube to a vuvuzela. So you immediately made it relatable to the audience. But in your voiceovers, I was asking you to do something, and I didn't feel that you heard, that you could hear what I was saying. So we were doing it again and again, and it wasn't really getting any better. And then you stood up so that you could really deliver the voices, and I still didn't think that we got to that level of energy and variety in your voice, which we would need to achieve if you were on the show. So again, as with Deen, your voice and your voiceovers need work.
All right, Thato. Take those notes, take those notes. What do you think? Do you think that Thato blew the competition out of the water? Well, let us know on social media. Use that official hashtag #PresenterSearch on 3. 2 contestants are left to show off what they've got. We'll see you after these.
It's your time to shine with Presenter Search on 3 and Orbit Gum.
Welcome back to it. It is Presenter Search on 3, the Expresso edition right here on SABC3. Tonight, each of the top 5 contestants, they get a chance to present their own travel segment in Eswatini. For Nathaneal Davids, this is a chance to really bring the heat.
I'm really amped. I feel like I have good energy around what I've been given, and I'm only going in for the win, man. So you might be wondering why I have this little guy in my hand. Well, I'm at a local NGO in Eswatini called Guba, and they supply these guys to a hot sauce company named Black Mamba Chili. I am gonna be taken through the process of how to make this chili, and apparently I am gonna be tasting this chili. Whether or not I'm gonna be able to handle the heat, well, there's only one way we can find out. Sustainable farming is a big part of Eswatini culture, and Kuhle is one of a number of NGOs that promote the practice in the kingdom. But when it comes to chili sauce, there's one woman who brings the heat. I heard you are the spiciest lady in Eswatini. Is this true?
Thank you. Well, I think you're about to find out.
Yeah, I see a whole bunch of chilies in the background, habaneros in the background, jalapeno. Do you say jalapeno?
Jalapeno.
Oh.
Actually would be the right pronunciation. Yeah.
See, when you say that, that's South American. That's Colombian?
Oh my.
Colombian?
Good.
Am I right?
Yes.
Oh, so what's Colombian for chili?
You actually call it ají.
Ají.
Which is a very difficult word.
So we're about to make some ají sauce today.
Oh yes.
Huh? High five.
Sure.
Boom.
High five.
Put it there. Take me to the chilies.
Okay.
We start that segment and there's a couple of technical things I need to keep in mind. I gotta follow the right distance behind the cameraman, and I also gotta keep parallel to Claudia whilst we're talking about whatever it is that we're talking about. And I'm also trying to avoid the money. There's a whole bunch of cabbage growing everywhere. I need to not step on any of this. I might be costing people money if that is the case.
We started a relationship with Kuhle around 8 years ago.
Yeah.
And the reason why is because Kuhle, besides being a farm, is also a training center for rural communities in Swaziland, in Eswatini.
The last insert, judges told me that I was a bit robotic, and that's not Nathaneal at all. So I'm understanding with this insert, it's my last opportunity to showcase both the quirky side, but also show that I can bring through the seriousness as well. Look, I really want to test my chili knowledge, and I think I know which chili is which, so I'm gonna use you as a tester. You're gonna tell me whether I'm right or wrong. That looks like a cayenne?
Yes, well done.
The red, I'm assuming, is cayenne as well, just left longer on the plant, right?
Exactly. That's a red cayenne. Yep. What about this?
This looks very familiar. This definitely looks like a habanero.
Done.
Right? Am I right?
Good.
Oh gosh.
It was, until 10 years ago, was considered the hottest chili on earth. You want to try it?
Nah, if that happens, then you might as well lay me here with the compost and just grow other chilies as well. That's not gonna happen any day soon. We're going through the segment. Claudia introduces me to Bongi, and as I talk to Bongi, he's telling me that he has benefited from Kuhle and grows his own chilies.
That was just powerful knowledge for me that I will treasure and give to my children. I'm doing this at home as well. Yeah, all the time.
My word. He mentions that it's at home. At this point in time, I'm thinking I'm gonna chat to one of the crew to send a cameraman to his house. Let's get some footage and make this segment richer. Thanks to Black Mamba's passion for empowerment, people like Bongi can make an honest living.
Okay, can I just stop you there a second? I can't have your voice so monotone in the voiceover.
Okay.
So you need a lot more energy. You need to project.
Thanks to Black Mamba's passion for empowerment, people like Bongi can make an honest living. Do it a couple of times and I finally start delivering. I think it's going well.
You did what I asked.
Thanks to Black Mamba's passion for empowerment, people like Bongi can make an honest living. That same passion can be tasted in their sauces, handmade with love and Latino flair. We pull up to the factory and it smells amazing. I just want a wing and I want to dip it in every single one of the sauces. Sanvanani, ladies.
Hey, how are you?
The trick about this scene is that it's not just Claudia, there's a whole bunch of other people there. So, beginning of the scene, I need to establish that I'm with them as well by greeting them and then also engaging, go straight into the link with Claudia. Is fruit going on here? There is vegetables being cut. Claudia, take me through the process. The guys holding the lights, making me really look good. I give kudos to them, man. This is amazing. I love this team. They're looking after me. And
Brilliant.
hey, I think that deserves a round of applause.
Yay.
My word, that was not bad for a guy that's never done chili work. I feel like it's time to taste.
So I would say you start with this one, which is a mild and sweet profile. You tell me what you think.
It's nice and thick, very thick. I taste the first one, kind of reminds me of like a jammy, apricot-y type vibe.
Pineapple?
Oh wow! Taste the second one, a lot more spicy, the perfect kind of braai kind of marinade. Reminds me of chipotle, am I right?
Right on! Chipotle chili sauce.
We get to the hottest one, it's a habanero sauce. Now, the trick with this thing is that it tastes really good in the beginning, and then 5 seconds later, it claps your mouth. And I had to really compose myself, but it tasted really good, I won't lie. Claudia, from my side to you, I'm spreading only love and light. May this take you places, and to everyone at home, the next time you find yourself in Eswatini, be sure to pop in and get yourself a little bit of sweet punishment. And this is truly a heartwarming experience, and it's the kind of heat that you would enjoy. In this segment, I feel like I've shown that I can engage with people on a human level. I've also shown my personality, and I got to enjoy really good hot sauce. This is the perfect day for me.
Nathaneal, things got a bit spicy over there. I'm surprised you managed to get a word out of your mouth after all of that chili. But judges, what did you think of it?
Well, we were all really impressed about how much you knew about chili. You knew the lady was Colombian. Then we found out that you were briefed behind the scenes. But we were still impressed, though, because on screen, you could never tell. It all came across so spontaneous. And that happens a lot, where, you know, you're given knowledge, but you need to make it seem like it happened on the spot. And you did that really well. Also, you took notes in our previous criticism of you coming across as too comedic. You found yourself. I felt like for the first time I met Nathaneal.
Yeah, what Tsandza is saying is also really important, because a huge part of this is being able to take direction from a director, which can be a really frustrating thing, and you did that really well. And also nice to see light and shade. You know, you've got there's the whole different side of you, where we were a little critical of whether or not you'd be able to handle more sort of serious content, and we were really impressed by that.
Yeah. And you know, you said judges comment robotic. I thought you were going to be robotic with the voiceovers and monotone, because you have that almost monotone way of speaking, which is part of your comedy act, but you weren't. You got that energy in your voice when we did the voiceovers, and I love that. You put an energy and passion into your voice, and your content is so clever. You can see that you create content. There's a sort of an insight which you put into it, like you had with Johan. We got an insight into Johan. We had that wonderful moment where we felt the tears, we felt the emotion with you, with Johan. And the same thing here. I was so impressed with what you did with those chilies and how you used the theme throughout the insert.
The chili man, Nathaneal. All right, sounds like things are heating up. What do you think? Did Nathaneal spice up your TV screens and make the most of his time to shine? Let us know on social media. That hashtag is Presenter Search on 3. We'll be right back after this.
It's your time to shine with Presenter Search on 3 and Orbit Gum.
Welcome back to Presenter Search on 3, the Expresso edition on SABC3. Well, tonight is part 2 of the Presenter Search on 3's Eswatini challenge. Each of the top 5, they've been required to present their own travel segment from the beautiful Kingdom of Eswatini. Now, next up, Jamie brings flames as she learns the art of candle making.
To be very honest, I'm kind of like, not disappointed, but I'm just, candles is candles. I'm just trying to wrap my head around how am I going to make this interesting, how I'm going to bring a bit of light to candles, but I'm going to try my best. I arrived with the crew and it is pretty cool. It's a very chilled place, lots of little small stores. There's giraffes, there's a little restaurant, rum tasting, very, very beautiful and chilled. I like the vibe. The Kingdom of Eswatini is well known for its craft markets, and today I get to explore the art of candle making right here at Swazi Candles. I promise you it's going to be lit. My whole perception of this place changes immediately as I walk in. There's literally every candle you can think of, and I'm talking all the animals, giraffes, there's an elephant, there's literally even a dolphin. And I literally thought it was going to be those stock candles that you use when the lights switch off, but clearly not. It's so beautiful. Did I have to be very honest with you? I know absolutely nothing about candle making. So tell me, what type of candles are these?
Our candles are made from paraffin wax.
Okay.
We are using a milli, a florimilli.
A what?
A florimilli technique.
Dudu is the one giving me the background of the Swazi candles. Off camera, she is amazing. She has a vibrant personality. On camera, she's very, very nervous, and it is quite evident because she can't even say candles.
Can we start again?
Where do you want to start, Mama?
From the beginning.
Okay. I'm hoping we can nail this. Dudu, I know absolutely nothing about candles. Please tell me a bit more about Swazi Candles.
Swazi Candles is a company that started operating since 1981.
The first part of the interview is very flat. So I'm hoping that the next part I can bring in more energy, I get to meet the people behind all of this, and I'll be able to get involved in the actual making of the candles. Over the past 3 decades, Swazi Candles has grown from a small workshop in an old cowshed to one of Eswatini's biggest tourist attractions.
I want to hear your personality in your voiceover. So I want to know this is Jamie talking to me and telling me a story. So you know when you tell stories to your little boy, it's the same thing. You're telling a story to the viewer and must have that warm, friendly feeling.
Over the past 3 decades, Swazi Candles has grown from a small workshop in an old cowshed to one of Eswatini's biggest tourist attractions, creating beautiful, unique and functional art pieces.
Yes, I'm feeling you're telling me that story, of telling your little boy that story.
I've never done voiceovers before, but Patience seems to think that I'm bringing the warmth in my voice, so that makes me feel comfortable, and in the end, I think I did a pretty good job.
That was perfect. Thank you.
The magic happens in the workshop. Each candle maker is an artist in his own right. It's hard to believe that so many candles are made by so few hands. You are gonna show me how this is all made, right?
Please come over, come sit here, let me show you.
Okay, I'm actually very nervous because I am terrified of hot wax. Is it hot?
It's hot, not hot, but warm.
When I meet Bongi for the first time, he's so beautiful. He literally has the most gorgeous smile ever. And we have this chemistry, so I feel it's gonna be really good to work with him and for him to show me how to make these candles.
Inside here, it's an oven. We put it inside, get it warm and soft. The whole table is at 50 degrees. And then we have these pieces. It comes in different patterns and colors. So we just put it over the plain one, and then it comes out a colored ball like this one. So I'm gonna teach you how to make a heart. That's the simplest shape I can give.
I love you. I'm starting to wonder if I'm a presenter search or a dating show, because I just told Bongi I love you. Ikani. 1 and 2.
It's almost there. You need to smoothen up, smoothen up. Yeah.
I'm feeling so confident and chilled now that I'm actually getting to do this. I'm working with my hands. Bongi is showing me how to make the candles. Even the cat is chilling there, just like living its best life. I'm not sure what I made. It was supposed to be a heart, but it actually looks like a kidney, like a deformed kidney actually. Would I be able to sell this here?
Yeah. 2 out of 10.
Oh my word, I'm failing at a heart. Like, this is so simple.
No, it's good. For the first time, I think you did very well.
It literally took us 10 seconds to make this. Something like this, giraffe. How long would it take you to make one of these?
All right, for 5 years, I think it takes 5 minutes now.
5 minutes?
5 minutes, this one is done.
Who taught you how to make these candles?
All right, so in Swaziland, there is an art school, but what they really do here at Swazi Candles, they only teach you how to use the raw material. So you have to come already an artist yourself. If you're good, then you're good to go.
Thank you so much for teaching me a new art form. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, you're welcome.
It might take me a few years to perfect the Swazi candle, but at least today, I put my heart into it. At least I got Bongi's number. I'm definitely coming back to Eswatini. Mama still got game.
Well, after that, you are so load shedding ready, hey, Jamie? But judges, what did you think of that?
Jamie. So, interesting scenario. Firstly, we've got a situation where, you know, you're all being thrown in the deep end with the voiceovers, okay? And it can't be easy to sit with Patience and have her, like, you know, bark at you the whole time.
Yeah, you need to be very patient.
Yeah. Okay. But let's look at this. Let's look at your segment. So, firstly, I mean, a lot of challenges for you. First, how do you take something like a mundane object, like a candle, and try and make it interesting and exciting to the audience? You did that really well. Secondly, you had a guest at first, your first guest. We'll get to the second guest. First guest, sure, she was a difficult person to interview, which is, again, a huge challenge in this game. You've got to try, it's sort of like drawing water from a stone. I thought you did that really well. And what was really impressive was the way you were patient with her. And you showed, you made her, by being patient and being polite to her, you made her feel relaxed. And that made the whole segment work so much better. So overall, I really enjoyed it.
Also, it's very refreshing to see someone who's kind. You know, and you were kind to her, even in times when she wasn't giving you anything to work with. And then let's talk about your new boyfriend, girl. I loved how you made that so personal, and maybe that's how you truly felt. I don't know. I don't know if that was show or that was real, but either way, I loved it because that brought an entertaining element to a segment that could have really been very boring and mundane, because, I mean, candles, come on.
And that same bubbly warmth which you bring on screen, you projected that in your voice, and I love that. Deen raised that point when we were doing the voiceover, that it may seem as if you're over-exaggerating what you're doing, but the viewer can't see you. When you're doing the voiceover, they can't see you, and it has to come across in your voice. And that bubbly love and warmth, that came across in your voice. Well done.
Jamie, being kind, finding boyfriends, getting lit all at the same time. Well, each of the top 5, they have truly shown that they deserve to be here. But at the end of the day, this is the end of the road for one contestant. Who do you think made the most of their time to shine? Let us know on social media. That hashtag is Presenter Search on 3.
What happened?
Welcome back to Presenter Search on 3, the Expresso edition, right here on SABC3, where the stage is yours. And for our contestants, it's been a long and tough road. Congratulations to all of you guys. You've done so well, and you need to be proud of yourselves for the amount of work you've put in. Each of you can be really, really proud. The judges have carefully viewed your segments, and after much discussion and deliberation, they've come to a conclusion. They will now announce their bottom 2 performing contestants. Judges.
The first person in our bottom 2 is Thato.
The second person in the bottom 2 is Deen.
Your final comments, judges, to our bottom 2 contestants.
I think we mentioned it earlier, it's a very tough part of the competition where we literally are nitpicking because everyone is so good. I mean, you're top 5 of a country's search of a presenter, so you ought to be really proud of yourself, and it's a tough decision for all of us. And at this point, it's kind of looking at different things, like who fits the brand of the show, who, you know, looks good, who, because we've established that all of you know how to do the job, otherwise you wouldn't be here.
Right, it's a competition. We can't really fault the individual segments. The issue here is you up against 5 other people who desperately want this, and it can come down to a tiny little mistake that you can make that can end up having you lose this. I've tried to explain this to friends of mine that watch this. They're like, it can be literally touch and go like that.
You're standing there in the bottom 2 because you were the 2 weakest performers in the voiceovers. And those voiceovers are important, and you can go on to build careers as voiceover artists. That is a very lucrative career if you crack it. So it's important.
Well, also a voiceover can sometimes can fix things in a segment that's gone wrong. It can also just completely, you know, ruin a segment as well. Yeah.
Deen, you have to work on your voice. You have to do that gymming of your vocal cords. Thato, you're great on camera, but your voice, when you're doing your voiceovers, has to improve. It can't be what you're doing on camera. It's a touch too immature on camera, and that reflects in what you're doing when you're doing your voices. They're not engaging enough. I didn't want to listen to what you said. I thought you were doing it in a funny rhythm, so you weren't telling me the story. Both of you, you have to learn to tell the story.
The tension is thick over here, and the judges need to discuss their final decision. But while they do that, you at home were given the opportunity to get your summer look on with old khaki. And over the past few weeks, we ran a competition where 2 lucky viewers could walk away with an old khaki voucher valued at 2,500 Rand each. And the winners have been drawn, and they are Thabang Mapolecha and Eldebra Duplessis. Congratulations to each. Too much swag, too much drip, too much style. Enjoy your unrestricted shopping experience. And now it's time for the judges to announce which of the bottom 2 contestants will be going home tonight. Judges.
We've handed over that tough task to Patience.
Dragon Lady, enjoy.
This is tough. You are both so talented. You have so much potential as presenters. Deen, I know you're a marketer, so presenting isn't what you're used to. Thato, you are a presenter, and what you do is wonderful. But when we worked in that session together, I thought that you didn't hear clearly enough what I was saying, and you couldn't do what I was asking for, saying absolutely harshly, Thato, you're going home tonight. Thank you for taking part. You have a big career ahead of you in television presenting, but I just don't think it's on Expresso at this moment. I'm sorry.
I think the reason we can't fault you is because there's nothing you did wrong. So I don't want you to leave thinking you did something wrong. You did absolutely nothing wrong. It's a timing thing. Everything happens when it should. So trust the process. Know that you kicked behind, because good words. And yeah, your time will come, I promise.
Yeah, Thato, you've got one of the biggest personalities on screen. For a little dude like me, I loved watching every single segment you've done. I know we were critical, but you really are. This is not the end of the road for you. You're definitely going to be on TV.
And we're not just saying that.
Yeah.
Thato, what a journey. You've done so well. You should be so proud of yourself. And I'm sure this is not the end of Thato. Well, for the remaining 4 contestants, next week is the big one. It's the Presenter Search on 3, the Expresso Edition Grand Finale. And of course, there are bound to be a few surprises. So we'll see you again next week, right here on SABC 3 at 7:30 p.m. Good night.
I am very disappointed. I'm really sad. I'm in just 1 week and then it's the finale and then you get eliminated. So you can imagine so many things that I had to leave behind for this and thinking this was it, this is the dream. But hey, as you know, opportunities are endless and definitely one day my stage will be mine.
So a very difficult thing to do this. I mean, it's all fun and games in the beginning and then you realize these are people's lives. And when it comes to the top 5, they're all so good. And it really sucks that we can't just give all of them jobs. And I think with Thato today, he's got an incredible future ahead of him. And I mean, taking also into consideration that he was the youngest person here, so he ought to be proud of himself for that. And I can't wait to see the incredible work that he'll do.
When we told Thato in Port Elizabeth that he was part of the top 10, his community TV producer said he hoped Thato didn't win because he was so good he wouldn't be able to do the show without him. And I thought, we're getting a talent here, and we did. Thato is amazing. He has such potential, and I hope that when we get a show which would be right for Thato, he would be as excited about the possibility of working with us as we would be with him. Well done, Thato. You are a real talent.
Thato, I'm going to remember this one, you know, and you can see what's happening. The judges' decisions are it's becoming so difficult for us to make a decision, and it is literally coming down to a tiny little mistake that they might make that can cost them their position in now the final 4 in this race to be the new presenter on Expresso SABC 3.
We continuously say that it's a bittersweet moment because it is, because you're saying goodbye to someone that you've bonded with, but you're celebrating going into the next round. And for the top 4, the next round is the grand finale, so that's really exciting. I'm looking forward to that.
Your name gets called and you're in the bottom 2. You forget everything else. You're listening, but you're also thinking, am I going to make it? Am I not going to make it? And then they call Thato's name. And again, it's that emotion. Last week we just had that same one. You are ecstatic that you made it, but my nephew's gone. That's not cool.
It's rough. Yes, I'm happy that I'm in the top 4, but you know, I don't want to see my little brother Thato go home. You know, that's a guy I've been with for a very long time. So I'm happy, but I'm also really, really disappointed.
It's sad to say goodbye to Thato, but also say hello to the top 4. We'll see you next week.
Another feel-good production.